Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fan Behavior. I'm Zoe, back with Hannah.
Hi,
Well, kind of back, remotely back. It's fine,
remotely back.
remotely back.
It's better than
Um,
nothing.
yeah, and also, midweek episode. Sorry for the delay, but we just had to work it into our schedule. You were traveling back. We had to watch these episodes.
Yeah,
We do what we can.
yeah, amen.
Amen. Um, Race week, which is
Race
freaking
week, which
crazy.
is weird. Like, it doesn't feel real. I'm like
Like,
kind of stressed about it.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, like a new race season is upon us in just a mere few days.
I
And
know. I'm afraid.
it's like not even just your typical first, like what is going to happen?
I have no idea. And there's like extra people, it's just,
Right.
it's all so crazy. And like, what's going to be the drama?
And just the cars themselves,
I
who's going to be
know.
good, who's going to be bad. I'm very curious to see how it all shakes out. Plus, not to mention the fact we have to like adjust to a new way of watching Formula One now
I
because it's no
know.
longer on ESPN, F1 TV, Apple, whatever. So now we all have to watch on Apple, which is fine. Um,
Do we know what the broadcast team is
I
yet?
literally, I,
We're just
I,
gonna find out
I'm just gonna
on,
find out when I
okay.
watch qualifying.
Well, I
Probably,
have
I'm gonna
not,
watch practice actually. I'll
yeah.
let you know.
Okay, and I'm not gonna put out of my mind the option to instead of pay for like that subscription, like I already have a VPN, like I'll just pay for the Sky Sports subscription and
Oh, that's
watch.
a good point.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's an option available to us.
that is an option. I guess
Should
the
we
only
choose to?
benefit to the Apple is like you can then watch other things.
Sure, but I already pay for that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like
Oh,
I
you're
do
saying
already
like
have.
if you don't get what you're wanting from
If I
Apple,
don't
you
like
would
the
just get
broadcast,
Sky
yeah. I
Sports.
mean, I don't know how to like, and again, I have a hard time with change, like so many of us. And the
Yeah.
idea of not watching a race with Crofty and Martin, I just it doesn't like feel attainable for me at this moment in time. But we'll
I know.
see.
And I know that we said this before, like people truly whenever we bring that up, people like cannot
Believe it, I
they
know.
cannot believe it. They
Yeah.
cannot
And like
believe
blame
it.
Drive to Survive, blame the fact that I'm
Yes.
American, whatever. That's just where I'm at in life. And look, I do feel like I need to watch the first race on Apple as it's supposed to be consumed, supposed to be in quotes, and then I'll make a decision.
Did you know though, did you see that like five or six races are going to be in IMAX theaters?
I did see that.
Which I think is interesting. It is funny to me that Monaco is going to be one of them. I understand because it's
Yeah,
Monaco, but like literally
nothing's
would
gonna happen.
would never want to
So
go
they
watch that
should,
race in
for
IMAX.
Monaco, they should have done qualifying.
100%. But I was like, I think they're doing Monza. Maybe I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like that could be a good
Hmm.
one. There's like, I mean, of course they're doing all the US races, but like hopefully we'll be at those races. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm like the Monaco one's going to be people who don't really know Formula One. They're gonna be like, oh, we'll go watch the Monaco GP in IMAX, and then
sure.
2 seconds later they're asleep.
Hmm. How
Um,
true.
but
But it's just
anyway,
good popcorn there, you know?
that's a good point and good soda.
Hmm.
But the big piece of news we're gonna get. So this is the Drive to Survive recap episode. Obviously, we'll touch all episodes, talk about them, all the things. But bigger news has happened this week, and we just have to touch on it, which is the fact that Charles Leclerc is a married man.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just so thrilled for him. And honestly, this is what had to happen in order for him to have success on track. That's what I'm
I
telling you.
hope so. Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that it matters, like not that obviously like your off track life does not always infiltrate your on track. It's not
Sure.
like, but when you're happy in your relationship and you're feeling good and you're feeling solid, like don't have to worry about that.
Hmm.
Results are going to show on the track.
Yeah. And I just think it's nice. It's like, I don't, because it seemed like it was like a civil ceremony. Like
Yes,
there's
it
going to be a
was.
wedding. But
Yes.
I like that they just were like, they did the dang thing. They had a wedding. And then I imagine the wedding that they're going to put together will take some time. And so I appreciate that they are wed. And now she can go plan the wedding while he's doing stuff. Not that he's not involved. I just assume he's like maybe less particular about the flowers at the wedding and stuff like that. Um, yeah, and he can just go live his truth
Yeah.
and drive around and
It makes sense though because like I know this is a thing in football too. Like people don't like to get married during the season.
Mhm.
So I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like you have to wait a whole year to get like more than you've already waited to get married. It's like, yeah, just get married and then you can have your big bash, which I'm sure will be
Yeah,
like 1,000 person wedding or
yeah,
something crazy. Um,
right.
she looked beautiful. I loved her
She did.
dress. She did her own makeup,
Of
by
course
the
she
way.
did. She's a queen.
Yeah, I was
She
like,
looks great.
I was like, damn. And I mean, anytime you get married in Monaco, like it's just already going to be beautiful no matter where you are. And them driving
Right.
around in that little red Ferrari, like it was
Yeah, which
very
I was
chic.
saying to you before we started recording, like at first I thought it was AI because some of the pictures were like so nice and I don't know, they just looked so AI. And then I was like, oh no, it's just the Leclercs.
It's just Leclerc. She changed her Instagram handle,
I saw that.
Instagram name now. She's Alexandra
Of
Leclerc,
course.
which is just like very chic.
Yeah, like I respect keeping your business name for sure. And like if you want to keep your name, like live your life. But
Of
Hailey
course.
Bieber really changed the game when she was like, "Yes, I'm a Baldwin, but I am taking my husband's name, and you still know who I am because, and we all still know who she is,
We
you know,
also know who she is. I also
Alexandra." Yeah.
saw this really crazy side by side tweet of like when for those who don't know, and I mean maybe you don't, I don't expect people to know this, but like when she and Charles first started dating, she had a private Instagram account, like private. She
Oh,
was,
right.
she's just a regular person, and she had probably like a couple thousand followers or $1,000. I'm not sure the exact amount. And they were together for a little while before she actually went public with her Instagram. She goes public, and there's a screenshot of like, I don't remember the exact date, but it was maybe
Sure.
like some like 2024. She had like 1,200 followers. And then now she has 3.2 million followers.
Yeah, I mean, she has dinner with Hailey Bieber.
Like
That's
it's crazy.
amazing.
I
And I'll be
know.
honest, I am so she first of all she's stunning. Like obviously like any of the content she makes is going to be beautiful because she's just beautiful.
Yes.
I don't understand how you go from 1,200 followers to 3.2 million and like do it as well as she does. Like I
Totally.
don't know, it's like really
Totally.
impressive and she's just
Yes.
like has her own space in the like beauty world and fashion world,
Yes.
just all the stuff. She's like created her own thing for herself. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. I know. Well, I mean, I'm down to become that next person to go for 1,200
Yeah,
followers.
retweet.
I
But
know.
see, I don't post on the internet. So like what am I supposed to do?
Well, but I think we could
The
make it
reason
happen.
I'm here is because you hit post. And thank you, by the way.
Of course. Of
It's
course.
obviously more than just hitting post, but
Sure.
you know
No,
what I'm saying.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Well, I think you could figure it out if you needed to figure it out, is what I'm trying to say. You could do it.
I think
But
so.
anyway, just wanted to say, congrats to the happy couple. We're very excited for you. I feel like I'm trying to think, is this our first marriage
Our
since
first
we've been
royal wedding.
fans? Has anyone gotten married since we've been on the grid?
I
Like,
did see, I think it was the article or like the Instagram post that Tiggy did about the from one of the Drive to Survive producers saying that Checo's wedding was filmed but
oh,
not put in. But I don't know if Checo got married before we started like actively watching F1 or not. I don't remember.
let's look. I think he did get married while we were watching. Oh
Okay,
no, he
because
didn't. No, he
otherwise,
didn't. No, he didn't.
okay, okay.
2018.
So then no,
So then no, yeah, because I'm trying to go through the head of like the people on the grid. Is anyone even married on the grid? Nico's married
yeah,
and
but that was
Checo.
way before our time. Yeah, and I think, and now
That's
Chucky, and I think that's all.
I think that's it. Unless
The
I'm just
only
like
other like
completely forgetting somebody.
motorsport wedding I remember like actively was I think it was like last year Marcus Ericsson got married, but that's not F1 related. So
Yeah, well, he wasn't
I mean
F1.
it's ex F1 related, but
Yeah.
otherwise
Yeah, I mean we have engagements. Obviously, we know Lily and Alex are the next in line. Um,
thrilled.
thrilled. But like, and I'm sure there's a couple others that are like there's some other wags that are like, hello, like time is a ticket,
TikTok,
you know?
yeah. Hmm.
Um, anyway, so that's fun. That's fun for us. First wedding. And
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian probably also hoping she's next in line, but
I can't get into that.
I
I actually
mean,
don't think she's hoping that, and that's just not something I could discuss at this time.
okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna need
Let's
a lot more legitimate, like,
yeah. Con
intel on that
yeah.
before I can continue commenting
We
further.
we need her at a race before we can go further with this conversation.
I need like a lot more than seeing
Okay.
her at a race.
Okay, let's get into Drive to Survive. Now,
Okay.
we just, for those who maybe don't know, and I think it's probably pretty obvious, but like we are Drive to Survive. We are here because of Drive to Survive. Like this is
Yeah.
our whatever you want to call it.
The goal of Drive to Survive, we're a
Yeah.
personification of that.
And so we always have to honor it because it is like why we are. Like it's kind of like, you got to honor your mother. Like your mother is the reason you're on this earth. Like Drive to Survive
Yeah.
is the reason that we are F1 fans. So we do have
Right.
to honor it. Now, I will say, and I think you agree with this, like once you've been a fan for a number of years, as we said, we're going on year 5, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it it
Your
doesn't
feedback
hit it
changes.
doesn't hit quite the same.
No.
But like we now know all the we know all the manipulation tactics. We understand
Yeah.
we actually know what happened during the season, so we know what
Sure.
they didn't talk about,
Yeah.
the things they left out.
Yeah.
So it's we can get to
Yeah.
this at the end of like what we would change of Drive to Survive, like how can they go forward? But there's always things that are interesting about it because it's just like there's just fun little interpersonal
Yeah,
nuggets.
like not to bring them up again, but when it comes to the Kardashians, like if anyone's on
Oh,
the
okay.
internet, you know what they do throughout the year, like you know what happens. The show is really just showing like the fallout inside of the family when those things happen.
Yeah,
That's the part about Drive to Survive that I'm still like really interested in is like all the little behind the scenes stuff, which
100%.
obviously we'll get into, and like the clips, like just the unseen bits of them talking to each other at an event that they're all at, those sorts of things. Like
Yes.
those are the moments like I want, you probably don't know this, Love Island does an episode or several episodes this season where it's just like unseen footage that they like didn't think was good enough to air, but was funny and they think people would find it interesting. I want unseen bits. I want like obviously, you had a story to tell. Give me all the stuff that doesn't matter if it matters to the story, but we will think it's funny. Put it in the show.
Yes. Yes.
But it's still good.
Yes, I agree with you. But I was just saying that because I understand people's like people not loving it anymore or not being for them anymore. I get it.
Totally,
I get
totally
it.
get it.
Um, okay, we're gonna get through these episodes, kind of high level, just funny
Yeah, quicker
moments
than we
like
have been.
that.
Sorry, I keep
No, no, no,
tangenting.
no, no, you're good. You're good. In case people are like, you forgot to talk about we got 8 episodes to get through, so we're just gonna kind of over like high overview and just yeah. Um, the gist. Okay, so the first episode, New Kids on Track. This is basically the, preseason like F1 75 launch, kind of like what's this new season gonna be like? Who's gonna
Hmm.
be fighting for a championship? Blah 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 blah.
Here are your rookies.
Here are your rookies. Yeah, it was like, okay, thank you. I did the first thing I wrote down was Lando in the helicopter is Hannah in the as is how Hannah would be if she was in a helicopter.
Yeah, so the first thing I wrote was Matt and Tommy because I was very
That's
excited
true.
to see
Yes,
that
they
Matt and
were.
Tommy were
Yes,
featured. But then
yes.
Lando being scared of the helicopter is so real.
Yeah, I was like, that is Hannah.
Because
Like
when he was like, keep it level, please, I was like, yeah, you can't tell them to do that. But yeah, never would have gotten in it. I'm sorry. I would have much preferred to be in the boat with Pierre.
Pierre and Jack.
Jack.
Also, like, oh,
Rip.
that was tough to see. Yeah.
God, heartbreaking.
I was crying laughing with the Shart and Shard.
I literally said, not PJ's shark joke or
No,
PG,
I think he
not
literally
PJ.
didn't know it was
I know.
Shard.
But he was
Um,
like, I just love that he thought that in a city so sophisticated as London, England, they named one of, I mean, I know it's silly that they have names for their buildings, but you thought they made it after a fart joke? When you fart so hard you poo? Like, seriously?
and then just like the whole thing about of like, okay, who's gonna replace Lewis at Mercedes?
Mhm.
And then cut to Kimmy getting picked up from school.
Absolute baby. He looks so. First of all, if you've seen the WhatsApp documentary, which we have, I do think they shared footage.
Oh, I'm sure
There,
they
there
did.
seem to be lots of clips that came, or like they filmed on the same days or something. Because
Sure.
like in a few episodes when he's at the go-kart track, I was like, we've been here already.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Um, yeah, it's
Just
just weird.
precious, precious little gem of a like
Yeah, and his choker, like long live the choker.
with the dolphin or the shark
Yeah.
tail or whatever, the dolphin tail.
Uh-huh.
Like consistent theme throughout this like whole thing is just I just love Kimmy so
I
much.
know.
He's so pure in his
I know.
heart.
He's
Like
such a gem.
he's just so pure. But then so because they're showing all the different so it's like McLaren's in the helicopter, Alpine's in the boat,
Why is
Kimmy
Mark in the tube?
Kimmy and George are going on too, and George was having to guide Kimmy, hold
Yeah, I'm like,
on.
what? He's like, it's efficient. I'm like, I understand all that, George, but you're with the camera crew. My favorite is when he goes, are these cameras with you? To this lovely Asian couple who was like, obviously they're not with us, you weirdo.
And then I did appreciate him saying, we stand on the right, we walk on the left.
Oh, yes.
Like
God, America needs to adopt that quick.
100%. George also saying they're all like Verstappen, they're gonna fucking smash you off. I was just like, all right,
Salty.
we're getting into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get to
Foreshadowing, perhaps.
yeah, exactly. We get to F175. I loved the conversation between Lewis and Max about
So
Max's
cute.
baby.
Do we know what sister,
That's
well,
a
like who
good
Lewis was talking
question.
about? Because I
That's
was
a
like, does
good.
Nicole have a sister, Nicole Scherzinger?
It
Is there
might
someone else that he
because
was dating?
that's pretty personal. Like to be at your girlfriend's sister's like birth. I mean, I know he said he
Yeah.
was outside, but that's
Yeah,
still
but
like,
and he said he was dating someone. I'm like, how seriously? I mean, I would imagine pretty serious. I don't think Lewis does anything unseriously, but
why didn't
yeah,
Max
that's
ask
deep.
these follow-up
And to talk
questions?
about, well, because Max doesn't care, but to be having this conversation on camera for Netflix, if it's not like they were far away, I feel like it was probably a public relationship. So my guess is Nicole.
Nicole
But
does have a younger sister. I just
okay,
looked it
that
up.
does she have children or at least one
I don't
child?
know.
We'll have to
I
do
don't
a
know.
deeper dive. But if you know, if it's not Nicole and you know who it might be, I'm curious because it's the only person I remember that he's dated, if any, like real,
Maybe it was Kourtney
like
Kardashian having her baby. I'm just
goodness.
kidding. But no, it's always, I mean, listen, I think we're all past, we all understand Max and Lewis have a lot of
Yeah, I thought it was a nice
respect. Yeah.
conversation.
Yes, it was a nice
And you know what?
conversation.
That conversation is the perfect example of like Max and Lewis hate each other on track, period. That's totally fine. But like they're
Yeah. I
fine.
wouldn't even say they hate each other. Like, I think Max hates George on track. I
Yeah.
think Max is just like, you know, I just think
It's just competitive nature.
competitive.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. Lando was cracking me up. He
totally.
was cracking me up.
I have a lot of quotes from him in
When
that
he
little
was talking
moment.
about the Ferrari, he was like, it's red.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was dead. And then the
And
fulfillment.
well, the fulfillment, but also when he said it looks like someone spilled yogurt on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Because it does. Like that was actually the most, I was like, that is what it looks like. And
Yeah.
respect to HP. I know you're giving our guys a lot of money. I wish you could just,
Yeah.
incorporate
Dial it
Ferrari a little
back.
bit more into you. But that's okay.
That's true. Yeah. When Charles Leclerc was like, the word of his season is fulfillment. And Oscar and Lana both were like, fulfillment?
Which, in fairness, when Oscar was like, he definitely didn't pick that word because be so serious. And that's so funny because I never even really thought about that. I was just so like paying attention to all the production and how crazy and ludicrous the whole thing was. It never occurred to me that Charles' vocabulary isn't,
And Lando was like,
stunning.
he was practicing that before he went on stage, like fulfillment.
Fulfillment, yeah.
Yeah, he was cracking. Like honestly, it was kind of giving me, like in Pitch Perfect,
Hmm.
which I think is also like a parody off of I think the movie Best in Show. But when Elizabeth Banks and that guy are like commenting on like the
Yes.
acapella singers, like
Uh-huh.
Lando and Oscar should do that. Like his they just
Yeah.
the quips, like just the
Yeah.
little things they say are just really
Yeah.
funny. And
Yeah,
they
they're both very quick, but the best is like when Oscar is quick and like dry about it, Lando just does his like signature cackle and it's just
they're
perfect.
different. Yeah, it's good different like
Hmm.
energies. So I don't know if they ever want to do anything, but like that could be the next
Yeah.
venture for them.
I was also
Um,
really appreciative just to like see that moment of the
so
two of
hundred
them,
percent,
It was nice,
100%.
wholesome.
Christian getting booed. That
Yeah, it
was
was really painful to watch, to be honest.
was it
And
painful to
the
you?
well, it's just like the secondhand embarrassment. I mean, I would get that for anyone. It's just like, wow, wildly painful. But then to watch everybody else hear that, like,
You know.
well, and what was most interesting to me was the what I perceived as shock on the face of Max and Liam
Mm,
while it was happening.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know why that would be. I mean, Lewis was kind of like, oh,
Yeah. Well, Max was
everyone,
kind of like, ooh,
yeah. And then
but
poor sweet Liam was just like, oh, we're gonna get booed so bad. And they were like, no, you're not. And also Max was like,
I don't
and
give a shit.
yeah.
I don't care.
So
Um, yeah, that was funny. And then the last note I just had, I'm not even sure what this is in reference to, but I think it just pertains to basically everything, which is Zach Brown is annoying me.
I know, but I will say there was something about him throughout the whole season that like he still has his moments with me, but I
You changed?
I don't think it'll last. I want to be clear because I don't I think we've seen more of him and he's also happy and winning and
Mhm.
whatever that I do feel like I feel like I saw a different side to his personality
Yeah.
and that I
He's
appreciated.
he's just a big personality and
Yeah.
it doesn't always for me as someone like I with other big personalities, I'm kind of like I'm not it's a little more hard for me to like always enjoy that big personality, I guess is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
totally.
Um,
I had two other,
yeah, tell me.
well, three, because Horner said we can't just be a one car team, which was crazy. and like accurate, but like make your second car better.
Yeah.
Not that he can anymore. But then he said that Formula One's become Kardashian on wheels, and I just thought that was funny, given to where we've gotten with the Kardashians, like F1 pipeline. So
Yes.
anyway, and then
Yes.
Lando's mom thrilled. Anytime I see her on screen, I'm excited. And then reliving Isaac's crash was wild and painful.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes. That was
That
oh
was
yeah,
really
sorry.
awesome.
I did have more. I did have more because I missed the whole Australia part. Yeah. The Australia thing, yeah. Isaac's crash, difficult. Kimmy doing well, getting fourth, fantastic. Um, I was just circling back. What did Toto say about Christian getting he was like he was thinking he was gonna rock it, but then it rocked him or
They rocked
something.
him. He thought he was going to rock the room, and the room rocked him.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. That's a good line. That's a good line,
Hmm.
Toto.
And
Um,
Liam admitting that he got a perm, which was funny.
I was
I like that. He was like, I got a perm. He was very unsure about it.
and I liked for Fernando being like, I've done 400 races and like racing in these kinds of conditions are difficult. I cannot imagine
Yeah.
a rookie and your first race and it's raining. Like
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. I don't know what this was in reference to, but speaking of Fernando, there was a quote he said after Liam talked about his perm and before the yogurt comment from Lando, because my notes are in
Yeah,
order.
I don't really,
He
yeah.
said, if you cannot deal with truth, it's not your place. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, preach. That is something he'd say.
Yeah. And it's true.
Um, okay, anything else before we get to episode two? There's the
No,
other.
I have to talk about Flavio.
Oh my God. Okay, so the beginning of episode two, I'm like, this is giving spy movie. It's giving like
Yeah.
it's
Heist.
giving heist. It's giving Ocean's
Yeah.
11, or
Yeah.
something. It's given like this is the man who's super rich, and then they're gonna try to steal some artifact from his home.
Hmm.
Scared me.
Yeah. His tray of sunglasses was hilarious.
And
God,
that gold
what I was thinking
statue.
about the gold like gummy bear, but I was thinking about the fact that Flavio has a minimum of one assistant, and that human being deserves all the self-care days in the world.
All of the self-care days. Yeah. I mean, and then, so this is like the Flavio, Alpine, Jack doing sort of like getting kicked out episodes mixed with it's the compare and contrast because you have
Yeah.
that and you've got the Steak, Sauber, Jonathan Wheatley, Nico Hulkenberg, Gabby, like just the different energies between the two teams. I certainly
Yeah.
know which team I'd want to be a part of, like
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Um, it made me so sad for Jack. This whole thing just made me feel like,
Oh my God, it was
ugh,
brutal. And seeing that, like, these are the behind the scenes moments that I like because there was that clip of him walking with, I'm assuming it was his comms person, being like, it doesn't matter what I say. And like half the stuff I like want to say, I'm not allowed to say anyway. Like, how many times can these people screw me over? Whatever. And it's just like, yeah, the whole thing sucks. And Flavio's quote, was just like, this is the one that I was like, okay, I respect your hustle and I'm terrified of you. And I just wish you weren't here anymore in Formula One. Not, do
yeah,
whatever you need to do on the planet. I don't need to play those kinds of games, but I'm not a dictator, but you do whatever I tell you to do. And if somebody's not in the same direction, they'll be out. That, if looked up in the dictionary, is the definition of dictator, sir. What do you mean? Like it's an abridged version, but you just outlined the definition of a dictator.
it's watered down a little bit, but it
Yeah,
still remains
it's
true.
appropriate for
Yes,
Drive to Survive, and
yes,
yet,
yes,
like a
yes.
government will want to overthrow you. Period. Also, can we take a sharp left turn into talking about why Jonathan Wheatley uses two toothbrushes? Is it an efficiency thing? Because I appreciate that it was put in, and I don't appreciate that we didn't get any additional
I
content.
literally had it written down. I said Jonathan Wheatley brushing with two
Well,
toothbrushes.
and were they toothbrushes? That's what I was. They were like very small. One was red, one was white. I don't know if that
If we
matters.
ever get the chance to talk to him,
Yeah,
I will
I
be
want to
asking him
ask
about
because I'm
that.
like curious. I'm like, do I need new techniques? I don't
I
know.
know. Okay, but before the toothbrushes thing, I
Yeah,
don't know what
sorry.
this was in reference of, but they were so this is also like centered around Miami a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but Christian, his quote, I'm again not sure what this was in reference to. He says, everyone is trying to fuck each other.
Hmm.
And I go, Christian, I don't know if you mean
Well, he's included in everyone, don't you think?
well, I think he meant it like everyone's trying to fuck over each other. Not everyone's trying to
Oh,
fuck
oh,
each other.
oh, sure, sure, sure. I think that's just a British slip of phrase, you
I
know?
know. I was like, Oh, okay. Like
Like
heated
F each other
rivalry.
over.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe the other
But
one
maybe
too. We don't
so.
know enough.
We don't that's what Drive to Survive can
We
look
only have a
into next
certain level of
season.
information. Yeah.
Um, no, but I really like Jonathan Wheatley. I love his like energy. He's like soft spoken. He's just
Yeah.
like, a
Yeah.
kind hand. Like if you're Gabby versus if you're Jack, it's like
Totally. And
so
I can
night and day.
understand the conflicting opinion of like, you know, if Gabby goes to a different team at some point, I do think it's going to be a very stark contrast to what he has at stake. But I also don't think he's naive to that. He's had plenty of
Yeah.
other principles in the past, like he's seen how other teams operate. And I don't know, I just appreciate, I know from like the perspective of a larger team, I don't think he is, I still think he has very high standards and,
Mhm.
he has expectations that he needs and wants to be met. But I think being a kind person has never ruined anyone's
No.
journey to success.
But I would even say like so if like the like hierarchy of like you have like dictatorship Flavio at the
Yeah.
top, and then you've got I don't even know if Jonathan will be at the bottom, but like the range of the different
Yeah.
team principals. Most of the principals are closer to the, in my opinion,
Totally.
the
I agree.
Jonathan Wheatley. Now Toto is someone who is like high standards, high expectations, like kind of a hard ass, but he is not. He is
No, and
not
actually, this
Flavio
he was a
level.
lot more. It was interesting seeing some of his BTS too, of like, oh, he was a lot more understanding than I anticipated him to be with some of the. I mean, he recognized I also think with Toto and like a lot of team principals aren't maybe as good at this. He knows when to
Mhm.
be constructive and give feedback and when to just say like it's okay.
Yep.
And
100%.
by saying it's okay does not mean you're not later going to give the feedback, but like the moment for that feedback is not now and it's not going to like be
Yep.
communicated correctly. They're not going to hear it because they're already flogging themselves with the worst self-hate in the world.
Exactly. Exactly. Totally. Um, I did appreciate that Jack said "fuck them all." A little
Retweet.
not,
And I know he got that from his friend Daniel,
yeah.
friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. You're so right. And also just like I appreciate good Aussie camaraderie.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, he had death threats. Did we know this at the
Yeah,
time?
I did hear about how like it was pretty bad for
That's
him.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, not good.
I
Not.
think Flavio like got a Twitter army together.
I think it was other like fans and I don't know who it was, but it was not
Like, I hope it wasn't Franco's army of
I don't
friends.
I honestly don't really
Yeah.
remember like what was
Oh,
going
that's
on at the
so
time,
awful
but
though.
really bad. Yeah, and then Jack, he DNFs in Miami. I was like, oh, I forgot a lot of like what happened to
Yeah.
him over the course of his six races, which wasn't that many. Um, but that was right. And what really broke my heart when he got kicked out after Miami was when he said like, and now they get to be right. Like all the
Yeah.
haters and stuff. I was like, ooh, that has to
That
really be
that is a
hard.
special sting. Yeah.
Yes. It's just like, oh, everyone who like was hating on me now, like they're like, haha, told you so. And that
Hmm.
would suck.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we obviously love Franco too. Like I
Of
really like
course.
Franco and he's funny. Also like this is not in order, but like when they were all at the Alpine car launch, like Jack and Pierre and
Hmm.
then all the
Oh yeah.
reserves and they're taking the selfie and
Hmm.
Flavio was like, well, you have to hit the button. And I'm like, Flavio doesn't understand that you can just hit the like
Yeah.
volume button to take pictures. Like he was thinking someone's have to touch the
Yeah.
thing,
Hmm.
which whatever, that's fine. Um,
Also, the way he spoke to Franco,
oh my God. I was
unacceptable.
like, he said, you're the problem. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe you're the problem. I kind of wanted Pierre Gasly to be like, oh, why did I do full government name? But
Because
I wanted Pierre to kind of like stand. I mean, what's he gonna do? But like,
he can't do anything because then Flavia's just gonna berate him.
I know,
He's a really scary man
I know he's very scary.
who was
So,
a lot more handsome in his earlier life than I would have
I mean,
expected.
sure, he's
Well, sure.
lived.
I never saw him before.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was a lot. But then, we
He's
contrast.
lived for a long time.
Yes. And he's lived like he's really lived. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like he's really but
Yeah.
we also get Nico Hulkenberg's podium in Silverstone, which was fantastic.
So happy.
That was a long time coming and proud of him. I'm
Yeah.
also happy we got that like on
Yeah.
footage.
And it was sweet to hear like Gabby's message again, like his
Yes.
radio to him. It was just also nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Okay, anything else? Episode 2.
No,
Okay, I don't even remember what that one was called, that title,
I
but
do. It's strictly business.
got it. Strictly dictatorship. That's what it should be
Truly.
called. Okay, episode 3, the number one problem. We began the episode with Zach Brown playing tennis with Novak Djokovic. I was like, of course. Of course.
Yeah, of course he is. And like, what? Is that, are they cross promoting their other
They don't
show?
have it anymore. They don't do Full Swing anymore.
Breakpoint.
Novak's been to a few F1 races. Like I think he is an F1 fan.
Sure. I just
And
found it interesting that he like took an afternoon
yeah,
to teach Zach Brown how to play golf. I mean,
tennis.
tennis. Well, you
That'd be
called it
funny.
full swing. It's breakpoint.
Oh,
I mean, I
sorry.
got the
Yeah, yeah.
full sport wrong, so I lose, but
It would just be funny if Novak was teaching Zach to play
go.
golf. Um, yeah, that was just like a random little tidbit, but also like, I do love a crossover moment, even if it's
Sure.
Novak, who I'm not like a huge fan of, but whatever, it's fine. Um, I did laugh when Lando sat down to do his interview and he like obviously took some like vitamins or pills or
Yeah.
whatever, and he said, and the person asked what he was taking, and he said some drugs to put up with you guys. That was
Hmm.
funny. He was making me laugh this
Yeah,
whole
I
thing. I was
know.
like,
Yeah, he
he
was
is
very funny.
funny. Like
He
I
is
was
funny.
laughing. Nico fucking Rosberg.
Perfect. By the way, like, I really do not mean this in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how his face is transformed. And I think like it was just so different seeing it in
When he was young.
yeah, I mean it was like because it was all the flashbacks and obviously like I have seen him on camera, but we were at a different we were much closer this time around. And
Sure.
it was just interesting. But
Yeah.
I knew, I mean, first of all, excellent that they called him. And obviously he was going to answer the call. I thought it was a perfect 10 out of 10 addition. And
Yes.
immediately sat down and talked shit on Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I know.
Which
I
is
know.
just his whole shtick now. Like, I don't even think there's that much bad blood.
No. Well, he talks shit, but then he also has like immense praise.
Totally.
Because he's very multifaceted. As we've
Hmm.
covered this, and also for people who maybe don't know, if this is the first time you're listening to us, or you don't, we are big Nico Rosberg fans.
Huge.
We just love that he stirs the pot and he's not afraid to be
Yeah.
controversial and whatever. He is necessary in every situation and moment, and I was thrilled. Now, to be fair, I didn't like them positioning or kind of comparing Nico and Lewis to like Oscar and Lando. I get it because it's like inter-team battle for the championship, but like it's not the same.
Yeah. It's not the same. And I will say, and they didn't add a lot of context to that for sure, but I will say, like, one of the notes I wrote down about this episode is, and maybe you have a different opinion on this, but I do feel like they really could have gone the Mercedes route with the storyline. And I appreciate it that it was a lot more like just the seriousness of like these two are competitors. They're
Yep.
very close in the championship and they're on the same team. But there
Yep.
was never like I don't
Yes.
know. They never dove into like any of the comments that they made about one another because they really, there were some moments, but they didn't really
No.
do a ton of
They
that.
could have
And
like edited it to be kind of like, oh, they're shading one another or something,
totally,
which is that happens a lot in form, in Drive
yeah,
to Survive. Yeah, no, I have some more thoughts about this, like how they portrayed this battle later for like a later
later.
episode. But I agree with you on that. I also wrote down like Zach needs to stop with the like breaking X like because he did the whole like breaking rib time when Lando won and he hugged him, and then in this episode he was like breaking hand time because he was
Yeah,
I'm like that
enough.
enough of that
Your
please.
American is showing.
Yeah. I also forgot how rough that Canada Lando crash was,
I
like,
know.
or how it was like, oh shit, I really felt like it was like not good,
I
but
know.
he
There was a
obviously
lot of moments throughout the season that I forgot. That is the other thing Drive to Survive is helpful for us. It's like, oh yeah,
brings you back in. They also just, squeezed Kimmy's podium in there. I'm like, I wish I had gotten a little bit more. I know the point of this episode was not Kimmy and George, but like that felt like kind of overlooked, but that's
hmm
okay.
hmm
Um, can we talk about the F1 movie premiere part of it?
yeah.
Because I have a lot of thoughts about this. Okay. First of all, Will Buxton fully shading Yuki Tsunoda. I don't know if you caught this, okay? But he was like a couple years ago or a handful of years ago, Lewis Hamilton could walk down the street and no one would notice him. Now Yuki Tsunoda is getting stopped on the street, and it's like as if, it's like
Yes, I didn't I hear it as shade. I didn't read it as shade when I initially heard it. And again, I think the only reason I don't know why he picked Yuki. The only reason I didn't is because Lewis Hamilton, people still knew who he was outside of Formula One, but
yes.
he was like clandestine in New York still maybe. Now, I agree with you. You could have picked anyone else. Don't shade our bud.
Yeah.
We love Yuki, a future friend of the pod.
And also, like, he's relatively, like, in terms of, I know he's not like as famous, obviously, as a Lando or Charles Leclerc or Max. Like, obviously, I know that.
Yeah.
But he is more recognizable than some other people on the grid. Okay, let's just say that.
Hmm.
So, anyway, it just was like, you need to stand up for him
Yeah, I
just a
mean,
little
and you
bit.
couldn't have put out the most obvious option
That's
because
that's that's a good point. That's a good
that would have
point.
caused a lot of problems.
It was funny seeing them on the rooftop and in the pictures. It felt very like,
Prom.
yes, it was
Hmm.
very prom vibes. Like everyone gathering, like parents
Yeah,
are around, like
yeah,
the girlfriends are there, and like the people that
hmm
didn't have their dates there were just,
yeah,
it's kind of funny. They're like, Jerry getting lipstick on Lando's cheek. I don't know if
yep,
you, I was like,
I did.
okay.
And then
Um,
George chit-chatting with Brad Pitt.
yep. Oh yeah. Loves, yeah.
Like,
Yep.
what are their lives? Like, that's what I was actually thinking. So Lando has lipstick on his face from Ginger Spice,
Hmm.
and George is swapping fashion advice with Brad Pitt. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What's happened?
Right. What are we doing? What are we doing? And as we know, I don't know how we know this story. Someone must have said this at the time, or maybe Yuki shared this story that like during the F1 premiere, he was like walking out of his hotel and he heard somebody going like Yuki, Yuki, and it was Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, I think
And he
Yuki
was
did talk
like,
about that. Maybe on the red flags or something.
yeah, maybe, but I'm just like, that's also crazy,
That
you
is
know?
crazy.
Um, but anyway, we get to Silverstone.
Yeah.
And I just had a comment of Toto in that hat. I don't know what the hat's called. What is that
Like a
hat called?
newsboy cat.
Yeah, yeah, like a newsboy cat.
Hmm.
It was just like funny. It was humorous. He was getting
Yeah.
into character.
Yeah.
Um, and then I don't know what George said this about, but I just wrote down that he said that's pretty wank. And I know that's just like a British term.
Yeah, so he was telling Kimmy that if you had a bad day in
Oh,
England, you say that was pretty wank. And I was like, could you teach him different phrases? Like, there's a perfectly normal phrase for, like, I guess whatever. Maybe, see, the thing is also, it was probably a little out of context because they're probably talking about how one of them had a bad day, and
yeah.
George was using it as an opportunity to go through his glossary.
Yeah. Um, this is also the Silverstone. Lando wins. Silverstone, he's kind of back on track. So like
Hmm.
because that's kind of the theme. Oscar
Sure.
was winning, doing well. Lando has the crash in Canada, comes back strong, wins in Silverstone. Fantastic. Did you have anything else from this episode? I kind of skipped around
No.
a bunch, but no.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I feel like we have another McLaren episode, so we can get to more McLaren thoughts later.
Yeah.
Okay, episode 4. A bull with no horns. This was I think we were all kind of waiting for this episode, which is the Red
Hmm.
Bull Christian Horner of it all. Liam gets kicked out pretty
The
much
shirt
right
change
away.
was crazy.
That was tough. That was tough. That was tough. Um, it was just Christian Horner is such a like facet of Drive to Survive and obviously
Hmm.
Formula One, but like the show itself. But I did find myself kind of being like, I'm just like I've moved on from you, and I
Yeah.
just like I don't know. I wasn't. I thought I'd be really interested in this episode, and I just found myself being kind of like, ugh, okay.
Yeah.
Yuki obviously getting to replace Liam in Japan. He's all also when whoever it was telling Christian like do the whole like konnichiwa, like say konnichiwa. They're really
He
good.
really overused it, didn't he?
I was like, okay. Um, and then this is the like, is Max leaving? Is Max not leaving? Like, what's
Yeah.
going to happen with Max? Which I mean, I obviously remember that happening, but like, oh, wow,
Hmm.
that was a real,
That was
like,
a really, yeah.
and he was so over that shit. Like, he
Yeah.
did not want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
tough. Like,
yeah.
take a different line of work.
Okay, what am I missing? Oh, I did just have this one line when George was talking about his skincare brand that he's creating with Carmen, and he
Are
said,
we
this
kidding?
first batch smelled like semen.
Unbelievable.
It's like,
First of
okay,
all, I thought it was interesting that he basically put on Netflix that they're working on a skincare brand
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Give her a ring, bro. I'm sure they have a plan. I have no doubt that there is a plan lined
There's a
out and
plan.
that the
There's a plan.
engagement date is selected, and I respect the hell out of that.
Mm.
Absolutely never should have said that. That's gross. I
Also,
mean, I
like,
know it's true, but I'm just like, now I
not a
just
good
think that
selling
you have,
point.
I know, now I just think you have semen skincare, you know? And like, that's fine, but it can't smell that way.
Totally. You know what though? I was thinking about this the whole time. Like now that we don't have Danny Rick obviously on Drive to Survive anymore, and like we don't have Gunter anymore, like these
I
these
know.
icons of this show that really made it like funny and just like
Uh-huh.
they were perfect for the show. I am happy, despite the fact that I cringe most of the time. Like George does bring it. He brings the
Oh,
humor.
sure.
He
Yeah.
brings the laughs. You know,
Yeah.
Lando similarly. Like I don't really cringe what Lando says, but like, you know,
No,
I'm happy there are some people that at least rise to the occasion. Now,
I
I
totally
think
agree.
it was I don't know how they fumbled. Like, why wasn't Yuki in this more? Like, genuinely, when he was first introduced to Drive to Survive, like however many years ago, like that episode was like so fun. Like, you have a star on your hands in terms of
I
like
know.
humor and just like making great television. And I'm like, why was he barely in this season at all? Plus, he gets kicked out of his seat. Like, you would
I
think
know.
that would be like a talking point.
For sure. Well,
Weird.
and like, especially because he kicks off with his time on the show being like, yeah, the new shirt makes me look bigger. Like the new material in his new team kit, which was incredible. And I don't know, it's weird. It's like sometimes I just wonder, like, did you have the same amount of film time with all of these people and you cut it like Yuki, for example? Like, did they cut down his footage because it didn't make sense? Did they not get enough filming time with him and so they had to do what they could? Like, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I don't know. Yuki, at least with Drive to Survive, has always seemed to be like a team player when he's not doing great. But I also think it was probably a wildly difficult season for him and like frustrating. And maybe they were scared he wasn't going to say correct things.
Well,
I
and
don't know.
also I do understand that like part of what made him so great was like him being with Pierre, like the
Yeah.
dynamic of him and Pierre, and like they're just like bouncing off each
Yeah.
other.
And like
And
still being new and like not like
yes,
being
naive.
okay with like working out and not wanting to eat well, you know, like yeah, a little immature in his
Yes,
F1 career,
totally.
whereas like that is probably that's not really part of his thing
Journey.
anymore.
Totally.
Yeah, I also
Totally.
did not remember that crash of his.
I know, Imola, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awful. I
Yeah.
like don't I meant to go back and look at my calendar to see if I was out of town during that
It
race
was
because I
qualifying. It was a qualifying crash.
oh, okay.
Um, but yeah, bad.
Horrifying.
Really, really bad. And then obviously, you know, we get the shots of Christian at his home in Oxfordshire or whatever the hell wherever it
Hmm.
is. And, you know, he finds out he's been relieved of his
Canned.
duties. I did think it was interesting how he was phrasing it like he didn't think the Verstappens had anything to do with his firing.
Yeah, it felt PR-y.
And it all, yes, it did feel PR, but it also felt like he didn't want, and I don't, obviously, we have no idea whether or not that's like, we don't really know why he was fired or who was involved in his firing. But I also feel like there's part of him that probably doesn't like the idea, doesn't like to think about the fact that like
Yeah,
someone like Max's dad or Max's whoever has like that much power over Christian's job. Like,
totally.
you know, I could see him
Yeah.
not loving that.
Hmm.
Have to just shout out like in that montage we got of all of Christian's, you know, highlights, like we did get a Danny Rick spotting. So
Yes. Yeah. As
as,
we should
as
have.
we should have. Yeah.
Um, and I liked the text from Toto.
Oh, yep.
Like that exchange that you shared, I thought that was funny.
Yep. That was funny. Um, I mean, it was kind of, you know, then they're at the house and they're watching the race and Jerry's there and
Yeah, that was actually, I will say that part was really interesting because I think, you know, logically I knew that, but I mean, for the last 2 decades, he has watched the race at the track from
yeah,
the pit wall. Like it's just kind of crazy that you have no information. I don't know. It's just like it's just weird.
very weird.
Yeah, it's like
Very
being,
weird.
you know, Jason Kelsey, and now you have to watch
Exactly.
the Super Bowl from your house. Or
Exactly.
I mean, he's not watching it from his house, but you know what I mean. The
Yeah, totally.
sidelines.
Yeah, totally. It's very, very weird.
Yeah.
Anything else from episode 4? Sorry, I know
No.
we gotta like
No, no, no. I don't
run
have
through
anything.
these. Okay, episode 5. What was this title? I didn't have it written
The
down.
sky's the limit.
Oh, of course.
And I wrote very little about this episode.
Okay, great. This is the Williams episode. So starts off James, Alex flying with the Blue Angels, having a great
Scary.
time. James is so happy to be having signed Carlos Sainz, of course, as
Hmm.
he should be.
Yeah.
We get Carlos Dos appearances, which is just,
Left and right. They were
for those who don't
everywhere.
know, that is Carlos, like we call Carlos's cousin, Carlos Dos. Um, Claire, we get some Claire, which
Love
was
her.
funny, and she had some like I can't remember what she said, but she had some kind of quip about like because I can't remember what the
I
person
think
said.
the interviewer asked was like something about like, well, his luxuries changed. Carlos's
Oh,
was like
yeah.
his experience as a driver changed and because of the budget. And yeah, of
She
course
was
she was.
like,
It's her family's legacy.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd be quippy about it too.
Exactly. I did write down. So this episode reminded me a lot of the episode, whenever it was. I'm not even sure what season it was, but when Daniel first goes to McLaren and like he's struggling
Yeah.
and then he wins his first race. It's kind of like the dichotomy of like, I'm having a hard time adjusting to this car. My teammate's beating
But I'll
me,
figure it out.
but I figure it out and I have a success. This
Yeah.
felt kind of like that for Carlos. He's just having a rough go of it. I did forget how rough of a time he had early
Me too.
on, like not so great. Um, James and Alex have a great, like
Yeah.
James Vowell is also just fantastic team
Iconic.
principal, like
Yeah.
just I don't know, just good. He just knows how to like connect with his
Yeah.
people. Um, the Lego parade, I was so thrilled we got.
Always going to be the best thing that has ever happened at an F1 race, in my opinion. Like on track. Like it was
100%.
just perfect. And it can never be replicated
Nope.
because even if they wanted to do it again, like it's never going to be the same reaction. It was just so fun.
It was so
Like
fun,
I
so
don't think
perfect.
any of them knew it was happening until they saw the cars.
Yep. Yep. I know. Yeah, no, they were
So
like
good.
genuinely shocked. I forgot that Carlos qualified P6 in Miami. Like, did
So
not
did I.
remember that. There's a lot that I just didn't really remember. And then I also forgot about the whole like Williams squabble, like Alex and Carlos, like the whole,
Uh-huh.
thing that happened in Miami. And then I actually wrote the difference between James and Flavio. LOL. Just,
Unbelievable.
yeah. And
Literally night and day.
night and day. And then we get Carlos's podium in Baku. And then I forgot that he had said my first smooth operation in Williams.
You know, he had to do it, I guess.
I know. I
It was
know.
very George of him.
It was so George of him, like the
Hmm.
most George Russell thing he could do. But also, like that's Carlos. Like Carlos
I
is
know. It is Carlos
he's
too.
gonna
Yeah.
smooth operate,
Yeah, as he should.
as he should. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like this was very like tried and true Drive to Survive
Agreed.
episode.
I would have liked more Alex in general
Me
in this
too.
season, but
Me
like,
too.
and I know we talked about it a bit. Maybe, it's there's not enough actual content there to like have him keep talking about it, but he's been at the team for 5 years.
Yep.
Like, I would have loved to hear more about the shift because
Mhm.
Alex was doing really well at the beginning of the year and then he really wasn't. And I feel like that whole storyline was just to focus on the change in Carlos, and I
Yeah,
do feel
that's
like
a
it's
good point,
important to talk about Alex in
Alex.
that.
And I would have been curious, like I would have been curious about his thoughts about like what does it feel like for Carlos to be the one to get the podiums?
Yeah.
And like I'm sure again he's happy about it, but I would be curious what his thought process is
Yeah,
there.
and we heard like a sentence of him being like, obviously, I would have loved to be the one to get us the podium, but I am happy
Yeah.
for Carlos. It's like, no, I need more than
Yeah, yeah,
that.
I need more than that.
Yeah.
I want some more like, you having a conversation with Lily or like, I need some
Yeah. And where
more.
was
Where
Lily?
was Lily? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Getting ready
Maybe
to
she
get
chose not to
engaged.
be involved. Yeah, I guess.
Um, anyway, okay. Anything else?
No.
All right. Episode 6. Do you have the title for this one? I don't.
The duel.
The duel. Okay, yeah. So this is like the classic again, Ferrari versus Mercedes. It's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, okay.
La la
Probably when
la.
they're competing for the championship, then I will, care.
Yeah.
But we get George and Carmen on the boat.
Hmm.
Which, George is cracking jokes about the boat that he has, of course. Again,
You
it's
see
just
that? See that
George.
big boat over there? Not that one. Okay. Okay. By the way, I knew the punchline before he even finished talking.
I just wonder what it would be like to be in a relationship with George. Like
Yeah.
truly, like it's
Uh-huh.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so this is like the Kimmy is struggling and having a hard time episode, and like also so is Lewis Hamilton having a hard
Hmm.
time. And I'm just like, we breezed over the Kimmy having a podium and having success, but like we're gonna do a whole deep dive on his hardships. Like it's
Yeah. Well, we
just
love a downfall.
we do love a downfall. Um, Kimmy at Spa, like just struggle,
Uh-huh.
struggle, struggle. And I wrote, I freaking love Kimmy. Oh, and I said, of course, Kimmy raced in Nico's go-karting team, Legends only. That just definitely
Yeah.
tracks. We get the Lewis Ferrari struggles as well, which is always fun. And
And these are the moments that I really get bummed out that Lewis doesn't do interviews.
what do you mean?
Well, like I know there's only so much he was gonna say, but like I want you to look at the camera and tell me how miserable this was for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, like
Call people out. I want
yeah.
receipts.
Call people
I
out.
mean, I know that's never gonna happen, but it's a girl can dream.
Totally.
And Max, like, where was Max?
Right.
So annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. I said this also makes me realize I don't really remember what happened this season. I remember who won, but that's about it. Which
Yeah.
is true. Like I could like when I saw the race, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this is the race that Oscar won, or Lando won, or Max won. But I
Yeah, I don't
don't
even remember
remember.
that.
And part of it is like you typically only pay attention to like the handful of drivers that you're a fan of, and then you forget. Of course you do. Like why? It would be weird if I remembered where Nico Hulkenberg finished in Austin.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, wait. Here's actually I'm cutting ahead, but it's because I will forget the question if I
tell
don't
me.
ask it right now. Max didn't win Vegas, did he?
Yes, he did.
Why do I have such a memory of Lando winning?
Yeah. Remember Max passed? Remember us reacting at the start?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now I do. Okay,
He
because
won.
I wasn't sure if Max actually won, but because of the disqualifications, then he got pushed up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
he won.
My God,
It's
I
okay.
have the
It's all good. I
worst
mean, listen,
memory.
24 races. We had a lot to
Yeah, it's what well, that's
remember.
why I got my notes.
Yes, I know. Um, and then I forgot that Kimmy started and finished in P2 in Brazil. Totally like don't
Had
remember
no
that at
no
all.
recall of that.
No
Yeah.
recall at
But
all. I'm
thrilled
like,
for him.
me too, but I was like
I was like
really
excited all over again. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's
and I'm like, did I
amazing.
watch this race? I'm like, I must have. I mean, I did. I obviously know I did, but I
Yeah,
just
love
did not
Brazil.
remember that. And then Lewis DNF, which was
I
depressing.
should
But
go back really quick and look and see on my race recap notes what I said
about what?
about Kimmy winning in
Oh,
Brazil. I bet I was
he
just like
didn't win. He
elated. I
didn't
mean,
win.
well, he did in our
Yeah,
hearts.
yeah, yeah. Who
Oh,
did win?
Brazil
Was it
was
Lando?
uh, when was Brazil?
November.
Before or after Singapore? After. Oh yeah, after. Hold on.
That's funny.
Brazil sprint race. Okay, so for the first time in my career of, oh yeah, Lando won, Kimmy second, Max was third.
Okay.
I wrote nothing interesting. I wasn't even excited. I wrote yellow flag, safety car, yellow flag, VSC, Oscar, 10-second penalty, Lewis Hamilton retired. Those are my notes.
Was a deep one. Really, really.
Qualifying? No notes. Oh,
Must have been a
wow.
great episode for
Yeah, I
everyone.
guess. Had a lot to say, I guess.
That's funny.
Okay,
Um,
sorry.
no, you're good. Do you have anything else for episode 6? It was like again, this is one of those episodes where like when you just know what like
It's not as interesting when you already know it. Like this is new information to us, except
exactly.
for Kimmy getting P2. But there was one moment that was like so edited, but it was still really funny. It was
Yeah.
Lewis was saying, "Great race, great strategy, guys," and it just cuts to Fred going, like smirking. I was like, I don't think that was the order of events, but it was funny.
That was funny.
Mhm.
Okay, should we get to episode 7?
You mean episode What Happens in Vegas?
What happens
Yeah.
in Vegas? We were there. So this is, the McLaren Vegas episode slash like can other people compete in Vegas? We get our friend Laurent Mekies in
He's
this
so
episode.
sweet.
Love Laurent. Like,
Yeah.
what a gem.
I literally wrote
Honestly,
Laurent is
like
so precious.
every team principal, I mean, I know Zach is not the team principal. But like every team principal, I'm like, I F with you, except for
Yeah.
Flavio. I'm like, I,
But he is he acting team principal now?
He's like oh, what's it called? Like de
Because he's
facto.
okay, because he's a
Um,
consultant to someone from something something, but like is
he's
also HBA
executive advisor, and de facto team principal of Alpine.
de
Because
facto
remember
is
Oliver
crazy.
Oaks? Remember the whole Oliver Oaks
I do recall that, yes.
quitting and his brother getting arrested type of storyline? Where was that in
Yeah.
this season? That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, I love
Active
Laurent.
case, maybe we can't talk about it.
That's true. Zach, I just wrote Zach loves a dad joke. Oh, I think it was when he was at that dinner and he was like, "We've got," I can't remember,
Yeah.
like, golfer, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever, and like I can't remember
Master of
what.
all of them. Me. I was like, sit down, sir. You have no idea what's about to happen to you tomorrow. You're gonna be so embarrassed when you find
Okay,
out.
okay, I'm just speaking about humor. Okay, just humor wise. Okay, take the
Sure.
person out of it. Who would you rather be married to if they had this sense of humor? Zach or George?
That's a really interesting question because there's something very similar about their sense of humor.
I know, but George's is a little bit more like British humor, and Zach's is a little bit more American humor.
Yeah, probably George.
I'd say George too, but I'm
Depends on
not
the day though, because sometimes Zach's is a little bit more palatable.
I'm not asking for either though. To be
No.
fair, like that's just not for
Yeah.
me. But
That was a really hard decision. Like I don't want, God forbid someone starts a rumor like Hannah wants to marry Zach Brown, because that's just not what we
no, because
said.
I said
I
take.
know, but people love taking stuff out of
I
context.
know, I know, I know. Toto at the gym with his son. That was definitely important.
Oh, is that who that was?
Yeah, it was his son.
I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out who he was the entire
Oh,
time. I'm
it
sure
said,
I know it did, but I was
yeah,
distracted and
yeah, yeah, of
I was
course.
doing my little color by numbers app on my
Oh,
phone,
fun.
just
Yeah,
trying to.
yeah, unwind.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh,
So I missed
that was
that.
his son. Yeah.
Okay,
Um, and then I
that
just
tracks.
wrote, I fucking love Fred Vasor.
He's the
I
best.
love him. Like, I don't know who I love. I right now, honestly, if you were to ask me who's your favorite team principal, like, I just don't know because Toto is like just he's just like OG, like
Yeah.
yes, like
Well,
like
it's like the revolving top three drivers. Like Toto's your number one. Like he's the first,
that's
he's the
true.
guy. Like he's always going to be there even when he isn't. But
But Fred's coming up in there. Like
I mean, he's up climbing the
he's
ranks.
coming
He's
the
a
ranks.
G.
He's my favorite, and I mean I love Laurent. I love James.
Yep.
I really like Jonathan Wheatley. Like there's lots
Yeah.
of them that I really enjoy. I'm
Hmm.
forgetting people that we probably know, but like I obviously know more Gunter, but like
Oh, miss
but
him.
Toto is the OG. But I just Fred just and Fred and Toto together, it's like I mean
Oh,
it's incredible.
unmatched. Yeah.
Unmatched. Um,
Their friendship's incredible.
I forgot how stressful Vegas qualifying was, the rain and
Yeah.
everything. And I remember, I mean,
Yeah.
we were there. I remember watching it, but like, oof, that was stressful. And I do remember us watching Lando get pole. Like I remember like
You
sitting.
know what? That's the memory I'm confusing. Is because I was like I remember being so frustrated because Lando won,
Yeah,
but that was
that
qualifying
was
when we were
qualifying.
at the
Yeah,
track. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The sex kit combo that Toto and George were
Wild.
having, and when George says,
Seems like an HR issue.
I know what pleasure is a woman." I'm like, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay,
I believe you. I believe you know what pleasures your woman.
that's true.
I can't
And then
speak
he
to
was
anything
like,
further
I
than
needed
that.
to see what this was all about. I'm like, okay. Like,
You didn't.
I did you need to? I don't know. And then whoever that woman was in the car with Zach who called him out for biting his nails,
Hilarious, but I also felt like really
called out.
victim. Yeah,
Yeah.
called out.
Yeah, same. But I was just like, but he's nervous. He's got a lot on his
Yeah,
plate.
my favorite was that he just kept gnawing on his finger. She's like, Zach, I need you to stop. And he just like went in. He's like, I won't be
Um,
stopping.
but yeah, this was the Max wins and also the McLaren double DSQ. And I remember Hannah and I being in our hotel room having to get up like 4 hours later for our flight, but also being
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I think McLaren's going to get disqualified.
That is something I love that they added though, is that like we watch Chris Medlin, like his wheels turning as he's finding out the information. I'm like, was this pre or post the tweet that rocked our lives? Like,
Yep.
what's going on?
Agreed.
And it was interesting. I couldn't really understand the conversation they were having, but when Zach was like, they're filming Netflix behind us, so let's go
not
away to
have,
have this
yeah,
conversation,
yep,
please.
yep.
Because it didn't seem like they were trying to get away with something and did not get away with it.
And
Which,
we did see Netflix following Zach in Vegas like
yes, we
a
did.
couple
We did
times.
think he was having his own documentary crew.
Yeah,
And
you
then,
did think that.
yeah, well, it was, it's not outside of the realm of possibility. And then
I mean, he
when we
did write
saw
a
them with,
book.
well, yes, was new information to me.
Hmm.
And then we saw them following Lando as well. And then I thought, oh, maybe McLaren's doing a documentary because they're all in the team kit.
Yeah.
And then we realized that it was Netflix and that the team kit just makes their lives easier.
Yeah, and I think
Speaking
it's also
of, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I think it's also so that they can go in. They have like ability to go in and out of the hospitality and
Hospitality without,
everything.
yeah, any issue.
Yeah.
The amount of times these these guys go to, and gals, with the gals never have forgotten, 24 races a year for years. They never have their passes.
Oh, I
And
know the
I'm just
guys.
not
Yeah.
really sure. Now, the funniest one was like much earlier in the season when Lando doesn't have his, and the guy's like, well, I mean, he's the driver, so you're gonna have to let him in.
Google search, put the
Yeah,
picture
like,
next to his
hi, this
face.
is Lando Norris. Please
Yeah, let him
let
through.
us in.
That's so funny. Um, Anything else from episode 7?
One other thing that I did appreciate, and I don't think they're doing it for the bit, but the amount of times throughout the season that they called passing in a streetcar overtaking. I'm like, oh, they're just like us.
Yep.
They use race terms in everyday life,
Yep, they do.
and I
They
appreciate
do.
that.
That
Like
was funny.
when I think someone was driving Laurent around, she's like, "Do you mind if I overtake?" And he's like, "No, please." I just thought
Yeah,
that was
and
really funny.
Carlos and Carlos Dose did it when they were on their way to the
Yeah, in the
Williams
Volvo.
factory or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, all right, episode 8, You Can Call Me Chucky.
incredible
Classic.
title. And
Max.
it was funny. I don't remember that line, so I was like, "Why are we having
Oh.
another Charles episode?"
Um, I forgot how much Lando doesn't like sushi when they're on the plane and he's looking at the
Yeah, Zach
he's
did
like
too, apparently.
he does not enjoy that, which is, a bummer as a person who really likes sushi. I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh,
it looked really yummy.
yeah. Okay, so this is the like who's gonna win the championship thing. Here's my beef. I wish they would have shown like so they showed Oscar's descent or ascent, but they didn't really show his like
I know.
total like losing it all
Right.
basically. Like they didn't show Monza when the whole like when Lando pits has a bad pit stop and then they make
Yeah, I
Oscar and him
know.
change spots. Like they just didn't go into like the battle enough. I felt like it was like,
I
oh,
agree.
now all of a sudden we're here and they're fighting for a championship. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There was like a lot of stuff you missed,
Hmm. And
which
wait, what race was it at? Was it in Austin when Lando crashed into Oscar and then they both DNF'd like on the side?
that was the Austin sprint. That was
Or
the
the
yeah,
sprint
Coda
race?
sprint. Yeah.
Okay.
But
They
even
didn't
like
really cover that, did they?
no, and even like even Oscar's crash in Baku, I don't know if you remember, but like in the first
Yeah.
lap he crashed
Yes, I
out.
do
Like
remember that.
there was just I don't know, they could have gone into that battle a little bit more. It just felt like and again, we know it and so
Yeah.
maybe it's not really who cares, but I don't
Well,
know. That just
because
felt
it
like
goes into the story of like the Mercedes conversation, like in the not picking someone. And like I think it adds to that storyline of where not picking, like prioritizing
yes.
a driver caused
Yes.
problems. And
Yes.
like I think they could have done it pretty quickly of like, here's the tally marks of all the times it went wrong.
Yes. That's a good
Um,
point.
but you know,
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was kind of, I don't know. It was weird. They go to Qatar. Max wins. This is when Max pits during the safety car, and the McLarens
no
don't,
one,
and
yeah,
that whole thing. I kind of had forgotten about that. I was like,
I
oh
did
yeah, I
too.
remember that. Then Abu Dhabi, Max gets pole position. Max wins the race, but Lando obviously comes in third, which is what he needed to do to win the championship. Lando wins. And again, I'm like, this should have been okay, first of all, Lando is like your next great star of
For
like
sure.
Formula One, Drive to
Everything,
Survive,
yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah.
everything. And I'm
Uh-huh.
just like, he needed to be a bigger thing in this
Yeah.
season to me. I'm like, he won this championship after 4 years of Max. Like, I don't know. It just felt very anticlimactic for
I
me.
agree.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
and
weird.
I feel like even in like the show, they were basically like Lando wins the world championship, and then they like cut to a different scene, and I was like, no, 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 this is the end. Like this is all now. Like we need to stay here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I do feel like they could have gone into it a little bit more detailed of like and gotten their opinion. Like I didn't really feel like we and maybe he didn't want to. Like this is again, like I don't know what content they were able to capture, but I would have liked to hear like a post-season update from Oscar, just like how he's feeling going into this season. And I mean, I guess part of that is because it's all for next season's
Hmm.
episodes, um, of like, a recap going into the new season. But
Yep.
yeah, I do feel like I would have liked to hear a little bit more from both of them, or just even some, maybe there wasn't a lot, but more behind the scenes of them interacting with like in an unspecific way, but like before the driver's parade, like if there was ever any time where they were connecting, because it felt weird, like they were really connected at the beginning, and then obviously all this stuff was happening, and it was just kind of like press conferencey
Yeah.
stuff and no commentary about how they felt like the team was managing it,
Yep.
or not no commentary, but not a lot. Like there was a lot of team strategy decisions that were made that I feel like they had both had a lot to say about, and I would have liked to hear it, but again, who knows what they were allowed to do. And I don't think they have a ton of, again, based on what I saw on Tiggy's post, like it doesn't seem like the teams have a lot of say as to what finally goes in, and so I wonder if they keep people back from interviews and stuff to
Mm.
protect the narrative, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. And maybe this is unfair of me to do this, but I was just thinking about like how they framed the Max and Lewis
Yeah.
2021 battle. And I know that was different. Like it was
Yeah,
not
sure.
inter-team. It was two different teams. It was very contentious. It was very heightened. But like, I felt like they did a really good job of like
Hmm.
highlighting how back and forth and how like intense it was. And then also like, obviously the race itself was so much more dramatic than what
Sure.
happened in Abu Dhabi. But like, I felt like it like highlighted this like we've had this one champion for so long and now we have this new champion and like
Yeah,
in Max. And we just I
totally.
don't know. I feel like we just didn't have that with this. And I
I
know
know,
it
I
probably
agree.
wasn't as tense of a season, but Lando came
I
back.
disagree. I mean, at the
I
very
mean, it was
end, those
tense.
last
It
few
was
races were
tense.
really
It
stressful.
was. It was. You're
And
right.
I
You're right.
think the tension, I think, more comes from the inner team dynamics, which again is maybe why we didn't get the same in-depth
Yeah.
look of it that
That's
we
a
did
good
with the
point.
other ones, is because it's just inside baseball of one team,
That's a good point.
And
Yeah. But again, and like, Lando, if you're like trying to sell your sport, like he's the guy you need to sell it behind, in my opinion. Just
for
like
sure.
he's the guy. So
Yeah,
I felt like they could have done more there. But
I think so too.
ultimately, it was enjoyable. I wanted to just quickly go through some things that I felt like or I wish they would have added in. I know they can't add everything in, but
Hmm.
obviously, like I said, Yuki, I wish I gotten more time. I'm
Yeah, he was
just like, oh,
MIA.
he's
It
kicked
was,
out, and now okay, and Isaac, where the hell was Isaac? Like, I know we get him at the beginning in Australia, but like, he had a podium this
I
season.
know.
Like, he gets the new Red Bull seat. I'm like, we could have had some more
Well, and
focus
they
on
had less
him.
episodes this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Now, I do think some of the episodes were longer, that like it might be the same amount of minutes,
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
but yeah, I agree though. He was like MIA. Did Ollie ever even
No,
come on the screen?
he did
Okay.
come on the screen. He was on the
But like
screen.
he was never interviewed or anything.
He was like in the
Oh,
very
right, at the very beginning,
beginning.
I remember him writing
Yeah.
all of his stuff.
But yeah, no Haas episode. And obviously I know Haas lost a lot of its like allure once Gunter was gone. Like I know that was, but still, like you kind of you gave Gabby some time, you gave obviously a lot of time to Kimmy.
Hmm.
Liam kind of got time, Jack, Franco, but like where was Isaac? Where was Ollie? I would have liked to have seen like the Valtteri coming back to Formula One and like
Me
also
too.
Checo too. Like I think because they're former characters on the show, like it would have made sense for them to be like, oh, like they're getting this next chance with
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Well, and there was a clip too, I feel like coming, next
Yes,
season.
that they
And so I
had
do
that.
wish some of that was, yeah, included
Me
in,
too. In
yeah,
the thing. Yeah. And then also there was like no Aston Martin at all. Like, I mean, I know there was a bit in the beginning with
not really.
Fernando, but like
I mean, the fact that Lance's only interview clip was talking about who his money would be on if he was a betting man for the championship was Like I was like, that's
I know.
it.
And I listen, I
I
get
know,
it.
I get it. I get it.
You have a lot of people you're having to like
And the storyline really wasn't with Aston Martin this year, other than like their hopes and dreams for basically this current season that's about to
exactly.
start. So there
Exactly.
wasn't a lot to say there. I get it, but and
Yeah,
honestly, the times that Nando was involved, he had some fantastic one-liners per usual. So
100%. Um, no, overall, I would say it was like fine again, but it's
yeah,
always just going to be fine for me. I think going forward, I don't think there's ever going to be a season where I'm like, oh, because I'm just too in it. We're just too in
I
it
know.
to really fully like enjoy it as it probably is meant to be enjoyed. And nothing will ever compare. Like genuinely, like obviously the Danny of it all and just like that whole
Totally.
experience. Well, that, like no one will ever shine on screen as bright as he shined on screen. But also like Gunter and like don't fuck smash my door. Like
Yeah,
these are moments that are just like they
iconic
were lightning in a bottle moments,
for
and
sure. They
it's
can't be
just
replicated, and that's
they
okay.
cannot be replicated. Like
And there
nothing
was
will
something
compare.
like, it was like that first, I don't tab up on YouTube watching One Direction or Harry Styles the way I used to. Like, it's not ever going to be the same as it was when we first found the thing and like had to consume every piece of information. And, it's still a love, but it's just different.
I just saw, I don't know if you saw the clip of our friends Emma and Hannah on from Track Talk. They actually
Oh, I haven't
talked
seen
about
it yet.
this exact thing.
Oh,
They were
really?
like, because Irene had made a video saying basically like she's the gist of her video was like, I'm not as obsessed with Formula One as I used to be. Like I still love it, but like that like obsession
Yeah.
heightened is like different than it was when I first got into Formula One. And they were just talking about that and how like we're kind of all out of, well, they were saying like we're out of the honeymoon phase of the
Yeah.
sport. Like I still love it and it's still
Yeah.
great, but like it's not that like, and you and I and people who are freaks like us will get this.
Yeah.
Like we are
Yeah.
just consumer. Like when we get into something, it's like
Yeah. Consume it all.
consume your life. Like it
Yeah.
takes over, which is like probably not healthy, but like it is just how it
Gross.
is. And there was nothing will compare to me. At, honestly, this time 4 years ago
Oh, yeah.
just being like, oh
I was
my
following everything and I was looking at
God.
everything and I was watching all these videos and watching Drive to Survive and crying, making those TikTok filter videos to see, and
And
I was like, well, I didn't know Fernando came back to Formula One. Like, what's going on?
yeah, like the heightened obsession. And like once you're in the thing and you're a fan, like you love it, but it's just a different energy.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Um, but it was fun. It was
It's a
fun to
more
do it.
sustainable energy, to be fair.
100%. I'm not,
Yeah.
my mental health is much better now. So
Yeah.
thank God for that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Australia coming up. I'm excited for it. I'm
I'm
looking
excited
forward
too.
to seeing what happens and what shakes out. We're gonna be doing our recap episode, obviously, when I guess Sunday because the race is Saturday night, which is also like I gotta remind myself of that. And also like
Yeah.
Will Apple, I'm assuming you can like if you don't watch something
You can
live,
record. I've already followed it.
oh, fantastic.
Just to be safe, you know?
Perfect. Okay, great. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to our first race recap of the season.
I'm gonna miss Nicole
Um,
Briscoe.
that's true. That's true. That's true. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
I don't think so, but do think you should be the one to say Enchante this time.
Okay. Well, I am wearing the Ford Racing Enchante sweatshirt.
Yes, you
Um,
are.
all right, guys, we will see you next time. Enchante.